Imagine a man who is competent, self-sufficient, and principled. He isn't mean or arrogant, yet he walks through life largely alone. If this describes you, you've probably asked yourself the painful question, why does it feel like no one truly wants to be my friend? This isn't a reflection of your worth. It's a collision of values. In a social world built on dependency and performance, the Sigma male's independence isn't just unusual, it's disruptive. Today, we're breaking down the hard truths behind why Sigma males often find themselves on the social perimeter, and why this says more about society than it does about you. 1. You don't provide the social fuel most people crave. Most friendships are built on a mutual exchange of what we can call social fuel: validation, gossip, emotional reassurance, and shared complaints. People bond over talking about other people, seeking approval for their life choices, and having their feelings constantly affirmed. The Sigma male, by his nature, is a poor source of this fuel. He doesn't engage in gossip because he finds it pointless. He doesn't hand out validation freely because he expects you to validate yourself. And he doesn't need constant emotional reassurance, so he doesn't know how to provide it. Your silence isn't seen as peaceful, it's seen as a denial of the very resource most people seek from friendships. You're like a well that doesn't give water in a desert. People will eventually stop coming to you, not because the well is broken, but because it serves a different, more self-sufficient purpose. This creates what psychologists call social starvation in those who interact with you. They leave conversations feeling emptier than when they started, not because you took anything from them, but because you didn't give them what they came for. 2. Your authenticity is uncomfortably mirrored back at people. Most people wear social masks. They say what they think others want to hear, they laugh at jokes they don't find funny, and they hide their true opinions to maintain harmony. The Sigma male's refusal to wear a mask acts as a mirror, forcing others to see their own inauthenticity. When you are consistently, unapologetically yourself, it doesn't make people comfortable. It makes them conscious of their own performance. They see you operating without the need for approval, and it subtly highlights their own dependency on it. This creates a subconscious resentment. It's easier for them to label you as weird or cold than to confront the uncomfortable question, why am I not that brave? Your presence alone challenges the very foundation of their social identity, and many would rather walk away than face that challenge. This mirror effect is psychologically exhausting for people who aren't ready to confront their own authenticity, making your presence something they might admire from a distance, but avoid in their daily lives. 3. You operate on a different friendship economy. For most, friendship is a volume game. It's about quantity: more friends, more invitations, more social proof. The currency is availability and agreeableness. People collect friendships like social currency, and the value comes from how many people acknowledge the connection. The Sigma male operates on a quality-based economy. To you, friendship is a sacred contract with one or two people built on unwavering loyalty, intellectual stimulation, and absolute trust. You would rather have no friend than a mediocre one. This is incomprehensible to the majority. Your high standards are misinterpreted as elitism. Your selective nature is seen as judgmental. When you decline an invitation because you value your solitude, it isn't seen as a personal choice. It's seen as a personal rejection. You're playing chess with your social energy while everyone else is playing a game of collectible cards, and they can't understand why you won't just collect more cards. This fundamental difference in social philosophy creates an invisible barrier that most people aren't willing to cross. 4. You are perceived as a threat to the social hierarchy. Every friend group, every workplace has an unspoken hierarchy. There are leaders, followers, clowns, and peacemakers. People know their role, and it provides a sense of security. This hierarchy creates predictability, and predictability creates comfort in social interactions. The Sigma male is a wild card. You don't seek to lead, so you're not an alpha. But you cannot be led, so you're not a beta. You exist outside this entire structure. This is deeply threatening to those who derive their identity from their place in the hierarchy. The alpha sees your quiet confidence as a challenge to his authority. The followers see your independence as a rejection of their chosen path. By refusing to play the game, you invalidate the game itself, and people don't like having their game invalidated. You aren't seen as neutral, you're seen as a destabilizing force. This threat isn't usually conscious. It operates at a primal, group dynamics level where anything that doesn't fit the established structure is viewed with suspicion and eventually excluded. 5. Your self-sufficiency is misread as arrogance or coldness. Your greatest strength, the ability to be content and productive alone, is your greatest social liability in a world that equates needing others with being friendly. When you solve your own problems, handle your own emotions, and enjoy your own company, you send an unconscious message to others. I don't need you. Most people build bonds through mutual need. I need you to help me move. You need me to listen to your relationship problems. When you don't visibly need anything, people don't know how to connect with you. They mistake your competence for condescension. They interpret your emotional stability as a lack of warmth. You don't create the drama or crisis that gives others a sense of purpose by being there for you. In a world of codependency, the independent man is viewed with suspicion. This self-sufficiency creates what social scientists call relational unemployment. You're not creating jobs for people to fill in your life. And in today's social economy, that makes you seem closed off and unapproachable. 6. Your communication style doesn't follow social scripts. Normal social interaction relies on predictable scripts. How are you? Fine, how are you? People exchange pleasantries not for information, but for social bonding. The Sigma male often breaks these scripts, either by answering honestly when asked, "How are you?" or by preferring meaningful silence over meaningless chatter. This script-breaking behavior creates social friction. People don't know how to interact with someone who doesn't follow the established social protocols. Your genuine answers to casual questions can feel like oversharing or intellectualizing simple social exchanges. Meanwhile, your comfortable silence in situations where others feel compelled to speak can be interpreted as social awkwardness or disinterest. This communication mismatch means that social interactions with you require more mental energy from others, making you what psychologists would call a high-cost social partner, regardless of your actual intentions. So where does this leave you? It leaves you with a choice. Dilute your essence to gain temporary companionship or embrace the solitude that comes with sovereignty. The truth is, people do want to be friends with Sigma males. They are drawn to your calm strength and authenticity, but they want the idea of you, not the reality. They want the strong, silent type until they realize that silent means you won't participate in their social dramas, and strong means you won't need their validation. The path of the Sigma male isn't a path of loneliness, it's a path of profound discernment. Your circle will be small, perhaps even empty for periods of time, but the connections you do form will be with those rare individuals who see your depth not as a threat, but as an inspiration. They are the ones who don't want a mirror of their own neediness, but a pillar of genuine strength. These connections, though rare, will be deeper and more meaningful than dozens of conventional friendships, because they're based on mutual respect rather than mutual neediness. If you're ready to understand how to navigate this reality and find those rare, high-quality connections, I highly recommend watching our next video. Why Sigma males have stopped caring about being nice.